Oh no, Pypo does a BM guide. Jesus, you guys have been asking me for a BM guide for a while now. So I thought, I mean, it's a bit late into the patch, but I mean, fuck it, I'll just do it for you guys. If you ask me to do something, I'm gonna do it for you. I can't help it. So basically for BM, now I should just specifically say, that I don't play BM anymore in Arena. I play strictly MM in Arena. But again, I don't arena that much anymore as of 5.4. I arenaed the fuckload in 5.3. Then I kind of got stale on WoW, but I still BG a lot. That's the main thing that I do now is just BGs, BGs, BGs. Fucking YOLO RBGs, just everything. I just do all BGs. Like, I must BG. This is supposed to be a guide. I know, I'm just talking about shit. Anyway, so for BM, it's definitely a viable spec if you're going to do BGs. And the main reason you'd probably pick BM over MM is I'd definitely recommend going BM if you have less gear. Because BM, your pet, I mean, all you have to do is go watch the video I made today of me doing BM Deepwind Gorge with a level 70 legendary weapon. And I topped the charts. Because BM, it's not about the damage you necessarily do yourself, it's about your pet damage. Obviously, your pet does increase its damage based on the gear you have, but again, it kind of it scales better with shittier gear. So again, if you have shit gear, I definitely recommend going BM. But then once you are kind of fully geared, you probably want to switch over to MM. Even survival, give survival, survival can be pretty fun. But again, for BGs, go whatever spec you want. Literally all of them can be viable in BGs. So basically, the spec you want is this: narrow escape. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Chimera isn't really used for any kind of spec. I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just not that fantastic either. Post haste is good for if you just like. I used to use this a lot as BM because I would use it to stay at max range. It takes a lot of practice to do this, but you can learn the range in which someone can do anything to you. The problem is in BGs, you're gonna have like a lot of people on you. Like for instance, you can pop rocket boots in a BG and not get away because they will just slow you. You have all these people stunning you, all that kind of stuff. That's why narrow escape for BGs is actually better. Also, you can use this as actually like a CC in arena. If someone comes and you've already done a slow, you've already done this, you've already put them to sleep, you've already trapped them, and they're a melee class, then the next thing you can do is to disengage away from them, and they can sit in that for for a good duration. So it's actually an addition to your CC chain if it's used in the right class. So I definitely recommend picking up Narrow Escape. Post haste is fun if you just want to fuck around and like be really quick and stuff. I have used that every now and then. But if you're for the super serial guys out there, pick up Narrow Escape. Wyvern Sting again. This is an arena ability. Pick up Wyvern Sting if you want to do arenas and all that kind of stuff. You need that extra CC. Even if you just use it as an interrupt on a healer, you gotta remember anything that stuns someone or CC someone, even if it's for a second, it'll cancel an interrupt. So you can actually use this one. For instance, I do. I've done Double Hunter 2v2, and a lot of times that one of my hunter will CC the DPS while we're on the healer or vice versa, and then I'll actually just use Wyvern Sting as an interrupt instead of a CC. It works just fine. But again, you could be using Body Shot or Intimidation. Intimidation I wouldn't take with any other spec except BM, just because a lot of times when people play BM, they're behind poles. They're not doing much. They're line of sighting, let their pet do the work, and Intimidation is good for that reason. You can stun someone from behind a pole. So if you're doing that kind of stuff, I definitely recommend Intimidation. If you're doing Arena and you need the CC, get Wyvern Sting. Binding Shot is a very good ability for Battlegrounds. Again, it's the same thing as Narrow Escape. There's going to be a lot of people all over the fucking place in Battlegrounds. There's people everywhere. For that, you can have an AoE stun. So again, BGs, I'd probably pick up Binding Shot. I do use Wyvern Sting in BGs just because I'm used to it, but I've been meaning to switch over to Binding Shot for the longest time. I just haven't gotten around to it. And then this third tier here, level 45, Spirit Bond, always good, always good. This ability, I think it gets overlooked a fair amount as far as like OP-ness goes. OP-ness. So this, basically what I mean by that is like you see a warrior with second wind, they do like a good amount of survivability when they're low. This is up 24/7. This is crucial for a BG because if you're in a BG with Spirit Bond and you get away at half health, before you get into your next confrontation with someone, you're already at max health because of Spirit Bond. But if you know you're going to have pocket heals, if you know you're going to have a healer, aspect of the Iron Hawk is better. It does more work than Spirit Bond if you're getting heals. If you're not getting heals, get Spirit Bond. Simple as that. Now, level 60 Fervor is fucking fantastic, but it's not because like as BM, you really don't have anything to use other than arcane shots and kill commands, stuff like that, because it's all your pet. So you're gonna Thrill of the Hunt works really well for BM because Arcane Shot is one of the main abilities you use as BM. So I definitely pick up Thrill of the Hunt and do some fucking damage with that. Forever is good, but you just don't really need it. Dire Beast is a cooldown that was kind of like it doesn't do enough damage for me to want to take it. I mean, I've seen people use it and like it does alright, but it doesn't do as good as Thrill of the Hunt does. Just for that focus fucking bossness. It was even better last patch, but it's still good. Now, Murder of Crows. Murder of Crows, too much focus. Too much focus. That's bottom line right there. Too much focus, bullshit. Don't even worry about it. It does good damage. And again, if you want to fuck around and dot people up, I'd maybe even maybe take it as like survival or something like that. BM, MM, I wouldn't worry about it. Link's Rush, it actually does a decent amount of damage, all that kind of stuff. And again, it kind of fits the whole BM thing. So if you're going to be one of those people that are behind poles, staying at max range, keeping away from people, it's good for your pet being able to do all that kind of damage without you actually being that close. But Blink Strike allows them to close the distance and do a lot more damage and get their pet ability off as well. For instance, the pet we're going to be using, which I'll talk about later, is a pet that can stun. So it's good to have a Blink Strike if your pet's on passive to get your pet to the target to stun them immediately. So that's really good. And then we have the last tier. The last tier, Barrage, is shit. Never pick up Barrage. It's not good for any spec. It's not good. Power Shot is a fuck around ability. You can use this one to basically just have some fun. I fuck around with it all the time. But if you're going for the best of the best, Glaive Toss is the slow on it, the cooldown on it, the focus cost is fantastic. Pick up Glaive Toss, it's fucking amazing. Glyphs. What you're looking at here is my BG Glyphs. So I got Glyphs Animal Bond, which is increases healing, but you got to keep in mind this is pretty much worthless if all you have is your pet bond, your spirit bond. Because spirit bond with this, it's only an extra like 0.2% healing. It's nothing. It's literally nothing. So you'd better off like changing this out for something else if you're doing BGs without a healer. If you are getting heals, pick this one up. I get it because I usually run with a few rep paladins or something like that, and they will just fucking heal me, and it does so much more. It helps so much more with that ability. Again, Explosive Trap, it's a BG ability. This is what I use for doing BGs. I use it just for knockbacks on flags, stuff like that, or knock off LM. Yeah, as you can probably see in any of my videos, I love knocking people off. And Camouflage for defending, getting the first ability out. It's really good for MM for getting an aim shot off. As BM, you can still use it to creep around and that kind of stuff. But a lot of the stuff you need to use for Arena is completely different from this setup. Solace, very crucial. Very fucking crucial. If you don't have this ability in Arena, you're fucked. It's the bottom line is you're fucked if you don't have this ability in Arena, because you need this to stop your all your damage, your bleeds. Like if you have the pet bleed, if you have your serpent sting up, all that kind of stuff. If your partner has some shit up, it will remove that stuff for you. So really important to get that. Mirrored Blades. I'd probably actually get Mirrored Blades over say Explosive Trap. Camouflage is more of like it depends who you're playing with thing. If you're playing with a stealthy, it's fantastic because you can get a really good opener. If you're playing with like someone who you don't actually want to get hit first, then you'd rather not actually be in stealth to start. So switch that out accordingly. But Mirrored Blades is really good. Not for actually, for a lot of people don't know this, but when you have a Mirrored Blade up, and someone Chaos Bolts you, and the Chaos Bolt's going to hit you for 200k, and you pop a Mirrored Blades. Mirrored Blades is going to hit you and bounce off. Once it hits you and bounces, it gets factored by resilience and goes down in damage. So that 200k is now down to 150k. Then when it goes back, it gets factored again by the person who cast its resilience. So it's gone from 150k down to 100k. Still a good hit, but it's a lot less than you think it's going to be. It's not going to like chuck back all the damage. But it's good, more priority for CC. If someone's sheeping you, fearing you, doing slows, I get it so many times where I pop Mirrored Blades and a mage will ice block himself, whatever the fuck it's called, where they freeze themselves. When I use Mirrored Blades, I love doing that. Master's Call, good for BGs again. The thing with Hunter, like Glyphs, none of them are crucial. None of them are like you need this except for the exception of Solace. You need that for BGs. It's fantastic. You need Solace. The rest is kind of up to you, and depending on the situation you're playing with, and for BGs, it's basically whatever you want. Whatever you want to have fun with. So as far as Glyphs is concerned, real easy. All you have to do, Solace for Arena. The rest is up to you. That's pretty much it. That's a pretty shitty guide, but in reality, that's what it is. And you gotta remember, at the start of Arena, you can switch out your Glyphs to fit whatever you're versing as well. So you gotta learn what you need for certain like partners, for certain like combos and all that kind of stuff. Now, as far as pets are concerned, you're BM, so you're probably going to be like, I want to get a spirit pet. I want to get a spirit bond pet, blah, 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 blah. You don't need one. You just, like, the heal a spirit pet does, it's good, and I'd probably use it for PvE or soloing shit, all that kind of crap, But the stun on the shell spider, I got 93 right here. This guy gets neglected a lot because I play MM. But the stun, you just want to macro that stun in, and it's so good. It's such a good stun. And you get this buff from the shell spider. Increases your strength, agility, and intellect by 5%. That's for your whole party, by the way. 5% increased agility. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic buff. The other pets you can use obviously are like wolves, spirit pets. I don't even know if I have any spirit pets in this guy. I got Steve. That's right. Hold on. Plat Steve. Like for instance, Steve here does good damage, does all that kind of shit, but all he has really is the heal. Like there's no stun, there's no CC, there's none of that. Like and he's got stealth. Who gives a shit about stealth? You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal to have a pet that it can heal you because you're gonna be getting heals anyway in a BG. Like you don't have to worry about it that much. And of course, what you want to spec your pet. If I can find where the fuck it is, I always forget how to do this. Ferocity is good for BM, and the reason for that is Heart of the Phoenix. If you're versing people at a higher MMR and they have a good healer, a lot of times you're gonna kill your pet. A lot of times your pet will be like focused, you'll be killed. If you're not paying attention, if you're not pulling your pet back, if you're not controlling your pet, it'll get killed. It's just a thing that'll happen. So Heart of the Phoenix is fantastic for resin him when they then try and get on you and CC and stop you from doing that res off. Because if you aren't aware, Revive Pet can actually be silenced. It's one of the few abilities on a hunter that can get silenced as a Revive Pet. So yeah, it's brutal. But if you're doing MM or if you're doing Battlegrounds, I really like Cunning for Roar of Sacrifice. Roar of Sacrifice is a really fucking good ability. A really good ability. It gets overlooked a lot. A lot of people don't actually realize. Let's read it out for you. Protects the friendly target from critical strikes, making attacks against them, and targets unable to be critical striked by but 20% of all damage gets hit by the pet gets taken. The pet takes 20% damage. It's no big deal, you check a men pet up, he's fucking fine. So you basically what happens is you pop that when someone like a mage pops their burst, warlock pops their burst, rogue pops their burst. All of a sudden, none of their shit crits. Or a warrior, for instance, a lot of warrior stuff crits as well. Pop that right at their bursting, and none of it's gonna crit you. It's fucking fantastic. It's a great ability. So I definitely recommend picking that up. As far as rotation goes, rotation's fairly simple on a BM Hunter. Obviously, send the pet in. He's going to Blink Strike, 80k. I didn't even have to do anything just now. I just fucking sent the pet in, 80k damage. Pop up a Serpent Sting. Make sure you are using your Widow's Venom. Widow's Venom is fucking important, people. I don't want to see you not using Widow's Venom. Also, you're going to have like a fair amount of focus as BM. So what you want to do is make sure you're using your Trank Shots. Trank Shots, Widow's Venom. There are two things you have to keep in mind. And as you see here, my pet's just gained these 5 stacks of Frenzy. Now, a lot of people fuck this up. Frenzy is a buff to your pet. Look at this. Attack speed increased by 20%. If you're not near the enemy target, if you're like mainly relying on pet damage, you don't want to pop Focused Fire. You don't want to do it because your pet has 5 stacks of this fucking awesome buff, and he's going to town. Look at him go to town on this fucking dummy. He's beating the shit out of it. But if you pop this and like all of a sudden you get all this haste and stuff and you're not near the target, you're completely just wasted your pet's damage. Your pet is now fucked over. So you want to learn to pop this when you're about to burst, when you're about to do a lot of damage, but don't take that damage away from your pet if you're relying on your pet at that point in time. Now the rest of rotation, so obviously put up a Serpent Sting, Widow's Venom, and then it's just Arcane Shots, Kill Commands, all that kind of stuff. Use your Glaive Toss on cooldown. Always Glaive Toss on cooldown. You're still going to hit hard. Look at that, 103k Glaive Toss. You're still going to hit hard as BM, but it's more pet damage, 176k with a Kill Command. That's fantastic. Now, what are you going to do when you want to burst? I got a pop macro right here. Obviously, you pop your Stampede, and you pop your, what's it called? You pop your Rapid Fire, and you pop your BM specific Enrage. The Enrage gets you out of stuns. So you got to make sure that when you're bursting at the right time. You don't want to pop it if you're about to get stunned. A good rule of thumb in BGs is I will never pop it if I'm not in a stun, if I'm not in the CC. I won't do it because I want to use it as like an extra trinket. That's the whole point of the BM. That's why I love BM, because you can use it as another trinket. You shouldn't really be sitting in that much CC as a BM Hunter because it's got such a low cooldown. It's fantastic. So, but say I'm not gonna get stunned, I'm good. I'm gonna pop this, pop Stampede, and I'm just gonna spam the shit out of Arcane Shot. I'll pop my Focus fucking Fire because I'm the one doing damage now. It's not my pet. And let's use shit off CD. Use shit off CD. Use your pet stun. Make sure you make a macro for your pet stun and just go to town. Go to fucking town. And you're gonna be sweet. You're gonna your burst as a BM Hunter is just as high as an MM Hunter. A lot of people think it isn't, but it's fucking high, man. It does a lot of damage. So don't be afraid to like go in and just fucking destroy shit. Now, anything else you need to talk about? I think that's about it. But again, I have to end the video by saying I do personally think, and it's my personal opinion, that MM is better. I do think this, but BM is definitely fun. It's definitely a good spec. There's nothing wrong with the spec. And actually, if I was going to level and do kind of stuff like that, I'd probably stick with BM because it's just an easier spec. It's an easier spec to play with. That's why I did it for that video where I used the level 70 weapon, because it's easier. It's not as reliant on your gear. But yeah, I hope this helps, guys. Hope it's not too just fucking information you already know. I mean, if you're watching a guide, you should know like half this stuff anyway. Have a good day. Have a good life. Have a good year, guys. I'll see you in the next video. If you want to watch some of my PvP vids, I also put up PvP vids on my channel. If you're just watching this one for the guide, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you guys. Oh no, Pypo!
Pypo, don't do it! Come to your senses, Pypo, no! Ah!
Blast 'em!